Clayworks. We are so excited to host Eliza Au in her solo exhibition in our gallery. The work is exquisite, intricate, and joyful, which is all the things we need right now. Eliza comes to us from North Texas University, and she will tell you how she manages to make these extraordinary pieces and not break them. Because just looking at them too hard, I just hold my breath, and they're we're just overjoyed again to have her. So thank you so much.
Awesome, you're welcome. My name is Eliza Au, and this is my work here in the gallery. So I'm really influenced by sacred space and sacred pattern. I don't draw from any culture specifically, but I do look at a lot of Islamic pattern and English kind of Gothic pattern in arts and crafts. So the work may draw from a couple of these sources. So a bit about like my practice here. Most of my current work here is kind of like these forms here, which are made of separate tiles, which are fired quite high, so they're quite flat. And then they're glazed with a low fire glaze, and they're slotted together and fired at a low temperature. So because the second temperature is really low, it doesn't warp or deform like a lot. So you can get a lot of really delicate forms, fairly straight forms, and still have them intact. So I use a program called RhinoCAD to design my work. Originally, I use that more kind of a sketchbook because it's a good way to design patterns and replicate them on a large scale and see how it works. And then, go backwards and change the pattern as needed. So this work here actually I made in Jingdezhen in China. So I taught in China for 2 years before moving to Texas. And they have this very white kind of porcelain clay. So I made this screen here actually, which was almost based off of the Chinese kind of wooden screen, or kind of this sort of fret pattern. So that was really different because a lot of my influences were European before. So so I'm really attracted to these forms because it kind of pushes ceramics to do something that it doesn't want to do in terms of like being straight or being very thin and being larger. So architecture, pattern, and sacred space are all incredible big influences for me. Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about these pieces over in the corner?
Oh, okay. So this is a bit of an older piece that is on the floor. And this was kind of one of my first larger pieces that incorporated kind of stacking multiples and like a thinner structure on a larger scale. So this is actually 27 pieces, which are actually stacked as almost like 9 totem poles that are beside each other. So they are vertically attached, but they're not kind of horizontally attached. So this is actually a more recent piece just done last year. So these tiles are actually attached to the wall with this 3D printed key. So this actually little button here comes out kind of like a lipstick, and the back part is screwed into the wall. So there's a little bit of space between there, which creates like this great sort of shadow. You can see obviously this is really influenced by Islamic design.
Can you talk a little bit to your color choices? Does that mean anything?
Yeah. So for this one, actually, obviously it was this like great Islamic blue that basically you can only get at a low temperature in code 04 for those people in ceramics. So usually it's like a really blue color with like kind of highlights of yellow, kind of like Islamic pottery or some Islamic sort of tile. So this is really referencing that. This one here didn't really have any specific color. I wasn't thinking specifically of anything when I made this color choice, but basically something that's really architectural. Like these forms were really influenced by hot iron kind of design, and then taking that very architectural form and glazing it with something like incredibly organic. So you can see that actually when this was finished, I kind of thought it looked like a bush, which it still kind of does. But it's like you know, something that is man-made and organic that is coming together. But you'll see a lot of kind of plant forms that are, you know, obviously quite green, and they have sort of small sort of tips of this other type of warmer color. So.
Yeah. It seems like you have quite a range in size and type. Like there's quite a bit of wall work, and then also quite a bit of smaller work. Which one do you prefer?
I mean, I think the smaller work is nice because it's easy to ship, and it's easy, you know, to actually pick up and kind of handle. And I can achieve like that type of intricacy like at a smaller form. Like obviously I couldn't make something enormous that was one piece and like this thin. But you know, working towards something bigger is something that I'm really looking at. You know, to kind of confront something that is very large and very delicate does kind of, you know, make you feel this sort of sense of wonder. But obviously there's a lot of technical challenges in making that happen. So.
Yeah.
So even though you have all that computer help, it still requires an ingenious human.
Yes, pretty much so, yeah. Yeah, after it goes through the CAD, and then, you know, this is actually done with a pretty simple press mold actually process. I mean, not the whole thing press molded, but like, you know, each of the tiles are actually press molded with, it's just a air compression mold, which is used in the ram press. It's, you know, it has a air hose that goes through it. But yeah, you have to like, you know, make sure you fire it on a shrink slab, like a piece of clay under it, so it shrinks at the same kind of rate, and obviously watch it that it doesn't crack. And so there's a lot of things that you have to do like physically and technically than just the computer. So also with the slotting of these pieces, where they slot together, it's not like a piece of paper or wood because obviously it warps. So there's a lot of kind of tolerance there that you have to plan. Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about this piece too? I know it seems like a similar process, but it's
Sure.
the way that it's positioned is.
You know, those two pieces we were just looking at, and this one here, they are done on CAD, but I go through several types of programs to get actually that template. You know, it goes through Rhino, that software, and then I go to AI, and I make a PDF, and then I go back into Rhino, and then I make the pattern, and then I print it. In this case, there was resin prints that were ordered when I was in China, but I mean, I can do just like a filament kind of printing too. But yeah, this one is more like a vessel, so it's a little bit of a departure from the other kind of forms, which were basically tiles and bricks. But this was interesting because it was, you know, a form that you could really look into and see like another sort of shape or a sort of void that was inside. So most of my work like is based off the architectural modules, like the brick, the tile, and then the pillar. So you see that mostly things are like round, or they're like more like pillar-like, and those are more. I mean, obviously they strongly reference architecture. So I guess I was trying something different, but it's also a different way of looking through things, which I'm very interested in.
I'd live in that.
All right. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Great. Thanks
Yeah.
for listening.
And for doing this online at short notice. We
great.
really
Say hello to Facebook over here, Instagram over here. All right.
Stay safe. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.